Hello guys, it's Chomster here doing another Beyblade discussion. We have some news for this month. Well, I guess it's for October, but anyway. So we have the October releases, both of them. Definitely was not expecting either one of these to go the way they did, but, well, they did. So anyway. First up, we have UX08, a starter. I thought this was going to be the Samurai Bay, but it's not. More on that later, though. But anyway. This bay is SilverWolf 380 Freeball. So this bay is interesting. So it is a starter. It does have a launcher which has a unique color ripcord, which yeah, this is interesting. So it feels like every starter nowadays does seem to have a somewhat personalized launcher, which is pretty cool. Discounting the first four at least, but everyone since then I believe has had somewhat of a personalized launcher. Very cool. But yeah, as far as the bay goes, first up, we'll just get this out of the way. 380Y. I've been saying this for a while now. I don't really like these day one parts, especially these day one ratchets. We've had them so many times now. Kind of ready to move on. I understand this is a three-sided base, so it does make sense, but at that point, just use 980. Hasn't been reprinted yet for a mainline bay, I don't believe, so would have been nice to see 980, but 380, I mean, at least pairs well, so I'm not too upset about it. Just would have been nice to see 980. As far as the bit goes, this is a very interesting one. This is called Freeball, so the actual bottom part, well, the ball itself, as well as the extreme line, that whole section, free spins. Our first free spinning bit. We knew it was going to happen eventually. But yeah, this will probably be horrible on the extreme line and probably just not even work, but that's fine. I don't mind that, the stamina bit. And, I mean, yeah, bases with lower resistance like these tend to perform horribly on the extreme line anyway, and just self-burst or just self-KO or whatever, but I don't mind this. Also, yeah, a free spinning ball, so this should have pretty good stamina. Looks about the same as ball to me, so I have a feeling this could just be a better version of ball, which is pretty cool if that's true, but we'll have to wait and see. Very cool that we're getting a free spinning bit finally, though. Then we also have the blade here, and that is SilverWolf. So again, the naming motif, well, or naming scheme, I mean, is the same as like Cobalt Dragoon, Weiss Tiger, Black Shell. So it is like that. And it does seem to be based on Wolborg, so another box and shoot reference. I was not expecting that, but I'll take it. So yeah, it makes sense as a stamina type as well. Very cool. It looks really cool. I like the color design. I like the overall design of this thing. Three-sided stamina type. Reminds me a lot of Berserker Byakko, which, for anyone not aware, that was a 0G bay for Metal Fight that did not get released, as they did cut off those last few releases, which never got released, and, well, that was one of them. So it does remind me of that quite a bit, actually, but I might put a picture up on screen so you can see that real quick, but yeah. Looks kind of similar. Anyway, as far as the main gimmick for this thing goes, and yes, this doesn't just have any kind of, gimmick like, Shinobi Shadow, for example. Oh, it could, like, parry attacks or whatever. This thing has a legitimate gimmick. There's plastic on the underside of the blade, and that plastic actually free spins. So this has a free spin gimmick. It's nothing crazy. It's pretty tame, honestly. But the fact that there is a gimmick here means that we're actually getting UX bays with legitimate gimmicks now, which is great. We finally have real gimmicks in Beyblade X. This is the first time we have seen any sort of real blade gimmick, any moving part on a blade in Beyblade X. Well, this kind of, gear chips on BX bays, but that's obvious, but still. Huge deal. Very, very excited for this one because of that. So yeah, finally getting some gimmicks going in UX, so, or just some Beyblade X in general, so very excited for that. I will say initially I was a bit disappointed by this bay because I was hoping for the Samurai Bay here, but you know what? After thinking about it a bit, I mean, the Samurai Bay is still coming out, and this bay is really cool, so yeah, it'll be the first time we get to check out gimmicks in Beyblade X, and that is very exciting. So yeah, overall, great starter. Looking forward to it. Wish the Raptor choice was a little bit better, but no big deal overall, so very cool. Next up we have the other October release. This one I'm a little bit less positive on. That is BX37, the Double Xtreme Stadium Set. Okay, so this is our gimmicky stadium for this year. In past gens, we would always, not always, but we'd see, gimmicky stadiums sometimes. We saw them in the main 3 seasons of Metal Fight, pre-Hybrial, but before 0G. And then in Beyblade Burst, we saw them kind of in the first real season with the dual layers, and we got them all the way through Chosets. And I guess maybe you can count Sparking if you want to count the Limit Break Stadium, but it's up to you. But gimmicky stadiums are always a big part of Beyblade, and I was pretty confident we'd get one eventually. I was hoping not, though, because they usually come with an exclusive bay, and I don't like buying these stadium sets if I'm being honest. But yeah. So what the stadium does is, basically, you have the extreme line on the outside, as always. But also, you have an inner extreme line, which apparently, I didn't see anything concrete on this, but it should rotate, have a battery powered thing. It does say it has, uses batteries on the box, doesn't come with them though, but still. So because of that, I believe this should rotate, but yeah, it is, regardless, two extreme lines, one kind of indented into the center of the stadium, then one on the outside. Looks pretty interesting. I don't personally battle though, so I'm not going to use this, but it's an interesting idea for a gimmicky stadium, not against it. Also, you have a launcher. It's a launcher. It looks kind of cool, I guess. And then, of course, the bay. BearScratch 560 flat. Okay. I said this a while ago, but I said if they're going to have a new bay in this set, I didn't think they were going to, but if they did, I said the blade was either going to be very bland and boring and new, or it was going to be a Hasbro exclusive brought into Takara Tomy, which is what it ended up being, because this is just Savage Bear. That's what BearScratch is, okay? So, just another Hasbro exclusive brought into Takara Tomy, kind of like we saw with Shinobi Knife. And I said also, the parts would likely be extremely boring, and yeah, 560 flat they are. This is a very boring bay. 560, it's at least not one of the original parts, I guess. It's a little bit better, but still not great. We've seen this ratchet so many times at this point. Also flat, it's a basic attack bit. Who really cares? But as far as the blade goes, again, it's just a Rhino Horn variant. It's nothing too interesting. But it does have the advantage of being a better color than the original, so I guess there's that. And for Takara Tomy, it is a new part technically, so that is kind of cool, I guess. But yeah. It's still, in my opinion, it's a pretty boring blade, if we're being honest. It's not interesting at all. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to this one. Will I buy this thing though? I'm not gonna lie, I might not be buying this stadium set. I do like to get every mainline base, so I will buy BearScratch in some form. And I know because I always like to cover bays, whenever they come out, and I try to get them pretty quickly. But I'm not gonna be in this one right away. Probably that will probably be a couple months after, but unless it comes out for like a decent price on its own, like if I can find one for an okay price, just, again, outside of the set, from a reseller, I'll pick it up. But if not, and if it's really expensive, then I'm waiting on it. And I don't know if I want to buy this. Apparently it is over 8,000 yen as well, which is pricey, and import costs on these stadium sets is just horrible, so it'll be well over $100, I'm sure, so I don't know if I want to spend all that for a set that I'm really not going to be using at all. I'll get the unboxing out one way or another, but again, we'll see how that unboxing actually comes out. Whether it's just a bay on its own or the set, I haven't decided yet, so I guess regardless, stay tuned for that bay. I will unbox it, but I don't know in which form. Anyways, that's it for the October releases. There is still more to come, but as far as October goes, looking okay. SilverWolf is great, very excited about the stadium set. The stadium itself, I'm sure will be cool and fun, but I just personally don't care about it. And the bay, the exclusive here, yeah, it's boring, I'm sorry to say. I guess it's the only cool thing I could say is that, like, it's a gimmicky stadium with a bear bay, which 15 years ago, I believe it was also October of 2009, we actually had an Extreme Stadium that had a rotating centerpiece, and that came with Rock Orso. Rock Orso also did not have any other new parts aside from the clear wheel, so if this is meant to be a reference to that, it's doing a great job mimicking having nothing interesting going on for the bay. But also having a gimmicky stadium that seems to be battery powered to some extent. So anyway, yeah, not really a set that I'm personally interested in. Again, it could be fun. So for some people, this could be a very cool set, and that's fair enough. But for me personally, Don't care. We'll still make sure to get the exclusive for collection and to make a video on it, though. But the stadium, don't know if I want to spend money on that. Anyway, moving on, we have the November release. So we did get a teaser. I can't show it because it's in the Korokoro, and they really don't like people sharing their scans or whatever, so I'm not going to do it, but we did take a look at the new Samurai Bay, and it's called SamuraiSaber, and looks really cool. It's purple and green. Images, I'm sure, exist out there. They're probably floating around. Again, I just can't show it, but looks cool. It's kind of two-sided, and it also has a gimmick. Apparently, these two kind of sides on the edges, they can pop out over time in the battle, which is pretty cool. We've seen gimmicks like this before, but still, it's cool to see this being kind of a metal version of that, so yeah, it's pretty nice. And this seems to be a balance type as well, just noting that now, and then the ratchet on this thing is 270, kind of figured to be 270, unless they want to make like a new contact point amount or a new height, which I kind of figure they wouldn't, but yeah, 270, makes sense. It's still a new ratchet, just nothing too crazy. As far as the bit goes, I don't have a proper name for it, so SamuraiSaber 270 something, but I've heard the name Hold floating around. I don't know if that's real. Also, we already have an H bit. They could, of course, switch to that being, two-letter abbreviations for bits, but we'll see. But for now, I don't know the proper name, so it is what it is. It looks pretty unique, though. It's hard to get a proper visual, but it does look like it will be a new balance bit, so it's not taper or point-based, which is great because we have too many of those already. So this does seem to be a brand new balance bit, kind of like how Hexa was, so I'm pretty excited to see what that's all about, but yeah. Looks very cool. We'll have more on that, and I can also show proper pictures next month for the October news. And also next month should contain a new BX booster, as well as the customized set. Oh, also I almost forgot. This is a starter, the Samurai Bay. I almost forgot to mention this. Yeah, so this is a new prototype, which is interesting. I didn't expect that, but apparently, and I actually said this in my prediction video, I said it was going to be a drawn bay that was going to be like this, but it's not. But somehow it's still right on the reasoning for the launcher or whatever, but anyway. Yeah, I was right on the launcher being the special part to what makes this a starter rather than just a starter, and the launcher is this version, or this generation's version of a sword launcher, which I said was going to happen. I said it was going to be a drawn bay again, but it wasn't, so I was wrong on that, but I was, I guess, right on getting a sword launcher in Beyblade X, which is pretty cool. I'm actually pretty excited to see what that's all about. But yeah, very cool. Again, looking forward to seeing more on this bay next month, and I can also, have the pictures on screen, talk about it better. We'll have, clear images of all the parts, which I will be very curious to see what those are all about. But for now, it was at least nice to get a teaser. I am kind of weirded out that we didn't get the full bay, because it seemed like that's what they're hyping up for this month of news, but we didn't get it. We got a teaser, but still, I didn't expect SilverWolf to be the starter. I really thought that was going to be Samurai, but, guess not. But yeah, as far as the October releases go, again, I think that they are decent. I just think the set is not for me. That's about it. But yeah, SilverWolf, really cool. An interesting Wolbarg reference. I guess it's finally another, well, I guess not finally, but it's another stamina bay, which we have the least amount of stamina bays of any type, so pretty cool to see. And it's also the first type to have 3 UX bays, so that's also, I guess, kind of neat. But yeah, overall, pretty decent month. I'm just not sure about that stadium sense. It's just a steep price for what you get, I guess. And again, as someone who doesn't battle, hard to be really interested in that. But as far as all the news goes, that's all I have to say. So anyways, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.